What is good, you guys? Welcome back to the Hero Report and welcome back to a brand new video. We have a lot to talk about today. I waited until day one free agency was over and I'm giving my full thoughts about what the Miami Heat did on day one of free agency. So make sure you guys enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe, and please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on what you thought the Miami Heat did and how you thought they did, and was it a W, L, whatever y'all want to tell me, man. Leave it in the comment section below. Also follow my Twitter. I've been posting my thoughts on Twitter as well, so if you guys want to see my initial thoughts before I recorded this video, they were on Twitter. So let's get right into it. We'll talk about the day one of the Miami Heat's free agency so far, and we have a lot to talk about because the Heat were one of the most active teams in the NBA. Now, this all started with an extension for Jimmy Butler, and like I said, we all predicted that this was coming. Jimmy Butler has agreed in principle, because he cannot sign the extension until Friday, if I'm not mistaken. A 4-year, $184 million extension. Now, this would probably make him a really, really rich man, especially when he's like 36 years old. Jimmy Butler will be making a lot of money. So, that's Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler got his max extension. Now, we all knew this was coming. I don't want to see anyone saying that this is an L, because Jimmy Butler, you can say he shouldn't be getting paid $50 million when he's 36, but we're trying to go all in. And the thing about these extensions is that whether it's Jimmy Butler, whether it's Chris Paul, whether it's people like this, and I think Jimmy Butler is different from Chris Paul because he's about 4 or 5 years younger. But whether it's any of these guys, you're basically giving these guys extensions for hoping for 2 years or 3 years of them being elite, and then that last year, if you got the 3 years of them being elite, you don't really care about that last year because they're on the last year of their extension. So if Jimmy Butler does not show signs to slow down, which I know in the playoffs he had a bad series, but I think he'll bounce back next season. I think he'll be one of our most important players, but this extension was necessary. I don't think this extension was something that we could have gone around. He deserves an extension for what he's done to this franchise since the time he's been here. So those are my thoughts on that W. The next thing we did, Kyle Lowry agreed a deal. Kyle Lowry is coming in a sign and trade worth with his contract being worth 3 years, $90 million, with him making about $27 million in the first year. Now, this is basically syncing his timeline up with Jimmy Butler, and it's sending a message that we're trying to go all in. Extending Jimmy Butler and giving Kyle Lowry this much money is a message that we're trying to go all in, and we don't really we're trying to maximize our potential in this 3-4 year window, and we don't really care about developing our youth as much as we did before. We're trying to go all in and get star pieces, and that's what we did with Kyle Lowry. He's an all-star, and I think Kyle Lowry will come in. He'll help us from day one. I think the biggest effect that Kyle Lowry will have on is Bam. A lot of people are talking about his friendship with Jimmy, but think about the amount of easy spoon feed layups Bam is going to have because of Kyle Lowry feeding him the ball, because he's one of the best playmakers in the NBA. He's one of the best leaders in the NBA. So him and Jimmy, they can take turns scoring the ball while also facilitating the ball. And then Bam, Bam is going to get so many easy touches. So I think Kyle Lowry will be a dog on defense as well. He's undersized for a point guard. Like, he's only 6 foot, but he competes like no other. He leads the league in charges drawn for the past 5 years, cumulative. So I love Kyle Lowry. I love what he brings. Obviously I did say that I probably wouldn't want to pay him $30 million, but it is what it is. At least I'm glad that we picked a direction, because we were stuck in this purgatory where we had young assets and we had guys who were ready to win now, and we picked the side who was ready to win now. We traded away Precious Achiuwa, who was one of our best young assets up and coming. I know he wasn't the best last year, but he definitely has potential, and we're trying to go all in, which I love, because we picked a direction. We're not stuck in this middle ground. We picked a direction, so I like what we did there. Obviously Achiuwa and Dragic and a future second-round pick is what's rumored. Obviously, it's not been announced by Woj or Shams, and I'm pretty sure this is because the Raptors are trying to figure out a third team for Goran Dragic to land in, whether that's Dallas or whatever. So I think till Goran Dragic figures out what team he wants, and the Raptors figure out what team they're rerouting Goran Dragic to, the full trade details won't be announced, because this will essentially be a 3-team trade with the third team giving something back to the Raptors for Goran Dragic's services. So, but for the Heat's part, it's definitely from what I've seen so far, Goran Dragic, Precious Achiuwa, and a future second-round pick. That's what we've been seeing from the Heat. So, I think, you know, like I said, the holdup is Goran Dragic's situation. Obviously, we love Seven over here, man. You know, he's the Heat legend. He's been with us since the post-LeBron days. Been our most consistent player. Only All-Star appearance here. He's about top 10 in every statistical category on offense. Games played, points, three-pointers made, minutes played. Everything. He's just, you know, he's been such a great service to this franchise, and we wish him nothing but the best. Obviously, there's no hard feelings there. That's what we've seen. So, hopefully, he finds a great situation. And low-key, if we could bring him back like what we did with D Wade, for him to retire his career, I'd be pretty happy. So, shout out to Goran, man. Shout out to Goran. We'll miss him, but you know, it was coming. He just had to, you know, we had to move on from him at some point, and we did. So shout out to Goran, and hopefully I wish him the best of luck. And then Precious Achiuwa, he was probably a little bit upset that we traded him, but you know, Precious, man, it is what it is. It's business at the end of the day. You're gonna learn that as a young rookie. You're gonna learn that. You just didn't fit our timeline, bro. Like you have a great future ahead of you, but we were trying to go all in, and you just didn't fit our timeline. We didn't really have time to develop a young center like that, especially when we already have one in Bam. So hopefully, you know, he's going to it's a great situation. You know, the Raptors are, if not as good as, or you know, they might even be slightly worse or better as developing talent than the Heat is. So yeah, happy for Precious because he's going to a good situation, and he can maximize his full potential there. I'm excited for what he's going to do in Toronto. I'm going to be watching Toronto a lot because Scotty Barnes is my favorite player in the draft, and then Precious is going to be there as well. So shout out to them too. Then Duncan Robinson gets re-signed on a 5-year, $90 million contract. A lot of people are going crazy saying overpaid. Listen, you know, the thing you guys have to understand is that in 2021, the market determines what you're getting paid. And I've said this since last year. If you are a knockdown shooter, you will get paid around $18 million per year. And that's what we've been seeing. Like Joe Harris last year got paid $18 million. Duncan Robinson got paid $18 million. Norman Powell got paid $18 million. Gary Trent got paid $18 million. Now, obviously, Powell can probably do a lot more things than just shoot the ball, but you see where I'm going with this, right? Like Gary Trent, 3-and-D player. Duncan Robinson, 3-point shooter. Joe Harris, 3-point shooter. So these guys are all guys who are 3-point specialists, and they have gotten 18 mil per year, and that's what their market is right now. So we were talking about paying Duncan Robinson $24 million in one of my videos. So the fact that we got him for 18, I thought was a good deal. You know, I said if it was anything less than 20, I would pay Duncan Robinson that money. And I think we paid Duncan Robinson that money. A lot of people, I don't think, are understanding his importance on this team. He is a very important piece. He's one of our most important pieces, man. He is a guy that when he is on the floor, our offensive rating is 20 points higher than when he's off the floor. That is ridiculous. And I do think he's improving his defense day by day. You know, he's not an elite defender, but he's average. He was very bad last year, or very bad 2 years ago. And then last year, he's shown a lot of improvement, especially as a team defender. So I like Duncan. I think Duncan is a very important piece. And then this is when the madness started, because after Duncan signed, we didn't really know what was going on. Trevor Ariza left to the Lakers. Shout out to Trevor, man. I saw his classy message on Instagram. Shout out to Trevor. Hopefully, wish him all the best with the Lakers. And I'm pretty sure that was about it, because we saw our power forward targets, like Jeff Green went to the Nuggets, and then people, you know, Nick Batum re-signed, and we were talking about, we had updates talking about the Miami Heat are potentially trying to go in on DeMar DeRozan or Kelly Oubre. And then we ended up with PJ Tucker. And this was a surprise. This was a big surprise, because PJ Tucker, the reason I didn't have him on my list when I did the video yesterday was because I thought he was for sure going back to the Bucks. So I was like, I'm not even going to bother putting PJ Tucker on this list because he's going to go back to the Bucks. And that's what it was rumored, and it didn't happen. It did not happen. I don't think the Bucks offered him anything, because he was talking about you cannot control what you can't control or something. But I like this fit a lot, man. I think PJ Tucker is a dog. He fits the culture. I was even talking about PJ Tucker last year at the deadline. We were talking about trading for Oladipo. I was like, if we can get PJ Tucker in that deal as well, I think will be set at the power forward position. We got Ariza instead, but PJ Tucker I think is a nice replacement for Ariza. I think he can definitely shoot the 3-ball. He can definitely play defense. We saw him, you know, obviously Kevin Durant, he's gonna score on anyone, but I think PJ Tucker, apart from Tony Allen, PJ Tucker was the only player that I've seen give Kevin Durant any problems. Tony Allen was like on another level. I love Tony Allen. He was that one guy who's actually slowed Kevin Durant down. But PJ Tucker was the other guy that I've seen, not on that level, but I've seen give Kevin Durant some problems. So if we're matched up with the Nets, you best believe Pat Riley was planning, you know, if we're matched up with the Nets or if we're matched up with the Bucks or something, PJ Tucker is that dog. He's that fire hydrant. You can put on anyone and he'll clamp them up. And he can also shoot the corner 3-ball, and I think he'll be able to shoot the ball a lot better. The Heat always have, you know, players shoot the ball better over here. Like Jay Crowder was a lot better shooter here. Even Ariza, when he first came, was a lot better shooter than what we expected. And PJ Tucker, I think, will be, you know, he'll be a great piece for us. And him and Kyle Lowry played together in Toronto, so I guess they're trying to get the band back together. But I like PJ Tucker a lot. I think PJ Tucker will come in and he'll be our starting power forward from day one, unless we get another surprise, because there is another surprise out there. DeMar DeRozan is unsigned. No one has signed him yet as of when I'm recording this video. And this is so interesting because teams do not really have the money to sign him outright unless it's on a mid-level exception or a smaller deal. And the Heat have already used a large chunk of their mid-level exception on PJ Tucker. So, and essentially, in my opinion, this deal would not really be a possibility unless it was a sign-and trade with Kendrick Nunn or a sign-and trade with Nemanja Bjelica, a sign-and trade that matches the salary that DeMar DeRozan wants. And if it's a sign-and trade, we still have a shot to get him. The positive is that no team apart from the Spurs, or I think it was I don't know the second team, it might have been the Pistons or the Hornets or something like that, or no, it was the Thunder. No team apart from the Spurs or the Thunder has the cap space to sign DeMar DeRozan, which is a team that he wants to go to. Like the Knicks, they've signed all these players. You know, the Bulls have signed all these players. You know, people like teams like this, the Lakers have signed all these players. The Clippers have signed all these players. So DeMar DeRozan, he doesn't really have a team to go anywhere to get his bag and also win. So he's going to have to pick between getting his money, because I'm pretty sure he could probably go to a team like OKC or stay with the Spurs, or I think maybe even Detroit might have the money and go there and get his bag. But if he wants to win, he's going to have to take a pay cut for sure, because no team really has the money to, you know, offer him the contract that he wants. No contending team. So that was my little DeMar DeRozan monologue. Maybe it could happen. I would love it to happen. I think we probably need one more piece to be, you know, on that same level as the Nets, because I still think the Nets are better than us. I think the Nets are still on another level, but I think we can compete with them for sure. I think we could give them some run. But if I'm a realistic fan, I don't know if we beat the Nets or even the Bucks with our current roster. I think we need one more piece. And if it's DeRozan, I think we need a guy who can score the ball, man. I think we need a guy who can score the ball. We've addressed our defense. Dwayne Dedmon re-signing, great re-sign. You know, we wanted him back. He came back on a 1-year deal. Would like it to be a 2-year deal, but you know, 1-year deal is fine. Max Strus and Gabe Vincent, super happy for them. Two-way contract players converted to regular contract players. Max Strus is a guy who's going to offer a lot off the bench as far as shooting, and Gabe Vincent, he's a great defender, and he's even showing his, you know, shooting and scoring potential at the Olympics. So shout out to Max Strus and Gabe Vincent as well. And that basically concludes the amount of action that the Heat have been doing in day one. You know, that was everything. And hopefully they do some more in day two. I saw somewhere that Markieff Morris got offered a deal and he's still mulling his offers or whatever. Like I said, I think we need one more bucket getter, whether it's Malik Monk off the bench or whether it's, you know, DeMar DeRozan, whoever it is. I think we need a guy who can score the ball. I think our defense is set. I love our defense right now. If you look at our roster, let me read you our roster right now. Our roster currently, as it stands, is, I'm pretty sure, 10 or 11 players deep. So Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, PJ Tucker, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Casey Okpala, Dwayne Dedmon, Max Strus, Gabe Vincent. 10 players so far. Now, there are 5 spots remaining. 2 spots are going to be two ways. So there's essentially 3 regular contract spots remaining. Udonis Haslem will probably take one of them if he comes back, so that leaves 2. Those 2 have to be guys that can flat out score the ball. That's what I want, because right now I love our starting lineup. Off the bench, Tyler Hero can score. Apart from that, we don't really have a scorer. KZ Okpala is a defender. Dwayne Dedmon is a big guy who's just gonna catch lobs and, you know, just get easy layups and stuff. He's not a scorer. Max Strus is a shooter. Gabe Vincent is not a scoring first guard. He's a defensive first guard, but he has shown flashes of scoring. Hopefully he can take that up. But as of right now, as of what we've seen in a Heat uniform, he's not a scorer. Tyler Hero is the only guy who can get buckets off the bench. So we need another guy, another 2 guys, another whoever. We need guys to come in and give us buckets, man. We need guys who can come in and score the ball. And I think that's when we'll complete our team. But I'm loving what we're doing so far. A+ to Pat Riley, Andy Ellisberg. If they pull this DeRozan stuff off, man, they deserve some statues outside of the arena. So shout out to them. Shout out to what the Heat are doing. I've loved what the Heat are doing. And shout out to the other teams as well. I love what the Bulls are doing. Sneakily love what the Mavericks are doing. I think Reggie Bullock was an underrated pickup for them. The Knicks making moves. A lot of teams making moves out here, man. And I think we're on top of the moves as far as active teams. I think we've been the most active. So shout out to the Heat. And this is a pretty long video, but I had to get my thoughts off. So I'll see y'all later. As always, make sure y'all leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. If something else happens today, I will probably record a video on that, but most likely I'll recap the Heat's day 2 in another video tomorrow, based off what we've seen today. So I'll see y'all later. As always, peace.